My mum. 100%
Right?
my mum.
Oh, straight away.
comes from
Dad,
mum.
sorry, Dad. This is not my fault.
You know what? I can't put it down to anybody but my mum. She's the most hard-working, ambitious, forward-moving person.
That is brilliant.
Ever. We didn't want to be seen as a barber's.
A barber's,
you know,
right.
A barber's is somewhere you go, you get a quick haircut, you're in, you're out.
Yes.
You can get a good one, you can get a bad one, you know, whatever.
Yes.
We wanted, the original idea was a luxury male grooming salon. You need to make the most Instagrammable business possible. That's how you get out there. People putting you on social media. Yes. Before it were physical advertising. Now it's social advertising. Social advertising.
Word of mouth.
But she's built and put the foundation there for us to build from.
There you go.
Yeah. It's not like we've taken on like a so-called empire. It's we've taken on the foundation to build his own empire.
There you go.
And you know, it were.
So it was a struggle coming up, basically.
Yeah, and then from being small, I saw the hard work my mum were putting in. Okay. Absolutely grinding to make what we've got and to make the family what it is. Yeah. And a client will become a friend much faster than any friend will become a client.
Yes, guys. Welcome to another episode of Let Inspiration Take Over podcast. Today, I have another very special guest. His name is Brad. He is a barber. He is a business owner and he is a co-founder. This has been a while in the making for him to get here. Brad, as you can imagine, with a lot of people that I speak to, is a busy man. So even today, as he's made time, he's actually got another engagement to go to. He's got a boxing match that he's going to. So as always, I'm very thankful and I'm very appreciative that you're here, bro, today. As stated, I love people that are go-getters. I love people that are doing something that is their own. I've been to Brad's business, to his shop. I invited him, I asked him, like, bruh, listen, come through onto the LiT podcast in order for us to be able to hear your story and that sort of thing. So I'm quite excited today to jump into the world of being a hairdresser, the world of being a barber, but coming from a perspective of a unique style, because what I know for a fact in doing my research, it's just beyond cutting hair or doing hair. It's much more. So I'll be very interested to to listen to that. What makes it even more interesting, I think I was telling you, Brad, like I had a dancer. So this will be like, I had a dancer last week, but it was yesterday. And she was telling me about the world of dance. And I found out it's a very emotional affair. You'd think it's just kind of like going on stage and doing styles and moves. No, but there's actually a lot more, associated to it as it pertains to emotions and how they navigate and how they prepare and things like that. So I'm sure you guys will have enjoyed that. But Brad, before we jump into it, bro, welcome to the LiT podcast. Feel at home, feel free. Yeah. And bro, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Well, I'm 22. We've got two shops, obviously. One's over in Dewsbury. We've got one over in Pontefract. Pontefract's been open about 3.5 years now. And Dewsbury's coming up about 1.5 years. We opened that one during the second lockdown.
Okay, really? Brilliant.
Is it the first? No, second, yeah.
Okay.
Second. Yeah. But it was tough.
Wow.
But that one, obviously just when it opened, it's took a lot more to grow.
Okay.
It's getting there now.
Yeah.
But Pontefract sets such a nice standard. It's such a busy and big shop that
really
it's just hard for it to compete with that.
Really? In Pontefract? Yeah. That's something that I'll be interested to hear as well, because most people will come from a point of view of thinking these are like small towns or small cities. Dewsbury as well.
Dewsbury's a lot bigger place than
people
Pontefract
think, right?
Well.
Listen.
Yeah, it's massive, but
go on.
Pontefract, it's just a small mining town.
Really?
And from the outlook on it, you won't think that there'd be much business there, but honestly, the local people are unreal.
Support it.
Yeah, the small local businesses a lot.
That's something that I'm big on as well. Like as I go along even with this podcast, I have already been communicating with quite a lot of local businesses, just finding out how they can support the podcast, but how I can give back to them as well. I think local communities are the backbone of businesses, right? With everything that you're saying, I think it proves it.
Yeah.
What was the mindset behind Pontefract? We'll start there. So did you guys know to say that the business would take off in this city? What drew you there?
Well, it were originally my stepdaddy opened a pub over that way.
Okay.
Before this, I'd never heard of Pontefract before.
Right.
Never heard of it. Obviously, I'm from Dewsbury.
Okay, brilliant.
I'd never heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we opened that. we realised like the demographic of people there, like it were everyone wants to look after himself, everyone wants to look good, they live for a good weekend, and then my mum opened a women's salon there.
Okay.
I was still in college at the time,
Right,
and then just on the side, I planned on going to uni. She started teaching me to do a couple of bits on men's hair, you know, just to earn some money outside, and then I ended up like half sacking college off and mainly focusing more on cutting hair. Like my attendance was terrible, like probably 40-50% attendance.
Just like me, but I was never good at college.
I'd be going to my mum in the morning. Yeah, I'm on bus somewhere at college. I want to be on way to like to do some haircuts.
Exactly. Oh, did you?
Yeah, I was skiving off college to go cut hair.
Mate, that's even better. I was skiving off college to go to the pub. So.
Oh, mate, I wish now.
Yes,
I just stood cutting hair all day.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely brilliant, bro. So it's in the family. It's in the family business. So dad owns a pub. Mom, hairdresser as well. Yeah. So do you feel that that's what inspired you to get into the business?
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
But it were after, I was always adamant that I never wanted to cut hair.
Okay.
I was like, nah, I'm not being a hairdresser.
It's not for me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I wanted to go into accounting, started doing it, loved it, never looked back.
Yes.
And I was just doing a few haircuts a week sort of thing.
Right.
You know, just for free. And then I was offering free haircuts to like local celebrities, you know, sort of your rugby players for local teams and stuff like that.
Yes.
I ended up getting at the time Zach Hardaker that plays for, well, at the time we were playing for Cass Tigers.
Okay.
I think now he's at Leeds Rhinos.
Okay.
But I was like, I'll do your free haircut, free beard trim, whatever.
That's smart.
Just for promotion.
Yes.
And honestly, within a week, I'd gone from cutting 5 or 6 people a week to cutting 7 or 8 a day.
No way.
Like, and that I'm talking 6 days a week. And then I built from there, kept building.
Yeah.
And then my mum were like, right, listen, you're taking up too much room in hairdressers now. So obviously,
I was
using a chair in there, and you can imagine these 40, 50, 60-year-old women sat there getting the perms and whatever. And then I've got 5 like big burly men or young lads sat there waiting for an haircut.
Yeah.
And it's not a good mix when you mix the two.
No. Yeah.
Men want their space and their chat, women want theirs, and it's just too opposite to be in the same place.
And to be fair, I was thinking about this, and as I was thinking about it, I found out you actually had it on your website. It's like, I feel like a hairdresser's, or rather let me say a barber's, is a place of therapy. So when I go to my barber's, I just go there. It's a time to kind of unwind from work, from family, because there's a lot going on, especially now that I'm recording the podcast. So when I get to my barber's, he'll be just, and he gets it, right?
Yeah.
So no wonder, they're saying when
like
they say don't cheat,
people,
right? It's like a wife. You can't cheat on your barber because they have a certain level of understanding. So when I go there, it's kind of like I can just freely speak to him and tell him certain things, and he'll be telling me certain things. So it's a point of therapy. So I understand what you mean to say like the two spaces. It makes sense for them to be separate because you just want to be free. You know?
Men's chat and lads chat, and then
it can get a bit laddish, right?
Honestly, we had we got pushed back opening first shop. We were meant to open November time.
Yes.
We didn't end up getting keys while like back end of December.
Okay.
We didn't end up opening until February.
Oh wow.
And the original plan was to open on 1st of December. We opened, I want to say 13th of Feb.
Okay.
I want to say. But so I had one of the lads that were going to come work for us. He'd been planning to come work for us from December. So he were with me in hairdressers, and that put double the amount of lads in there. And some of the stuff that they were saying in front of some women, and you were just like,
no, you don't say that to women, right?
They weren't happy. They weren't happy.
Right. I would say it's a lad thing as well. It's not. It doesn't mean malice, but that's how we are as lads.
Yeah.
When I'm with my mates, sometimes some of the conversations is like, you don't want to hear them.
Yeah.
But it's just that's how it is. You know, as men,
it's just lads banter, isn't it?
Exactly. I mean, that's what that is. But if the women hear it, it'll be like madness. What's going on here?
It's like women's banter. We don't understand it.
No, but it doesn't make sense. It'll be like, what are you going on about? But then no, that's absolutely fine, bro. So tell us the story from there then. So once you realize that this is not working, what happened then?
Right, so we started looking at a couple of shops. Originally we looked at an old Yankee Candle shop, small unit, probably fit maybe 4 barbers in there at most.
Yes.
Little, probably no bigger than a garage.
Okay.
And we went to go put an offer on it, you know, just to rent out. It was going to be a cheap little renovation and just get in quick. And Turkish barbers beat us to it.
Okay.
So they took that and were like, right, we need somewhere else.
You need to figure something else out. Yeah.
And I'm not joking, the most perfect looking shop ever came up. Just had a new front put on. It were a grade 2 listed building.
Okay.
So a lot of history in the building.
Yes.
And we managed to keep a lot of that in.
Okay.
We had to look round the like they didn't charge full rent for it because it were like, say, they classed it as 2 floors.
Okay.
At the time, the cellar were derelict, completely unusable.
Okay.
And top floor, you couldn't really get up to it. It wasn't usable.
Okay.
So we managed to convert it into all 4. But,
right. So you saw this building that looks like it's unusable, right? It's a mess, but you saw the potential of what you were looking to do in it.
The main floor
Okay.
looked perfect. It had just all been redone. New floorboards put down, new shop front,
Yeah.
new internal shutter. Looked amazing. Bit with the rest of the building, which were the issue, and I think that's why people were put off from taking it. But we're like,
Which is a blessing in disguise. See,
Yeah,
I always say God, right? I hope you don't mind, but see how God works. Because certain things that look like a disadvantage will actually be an advantage to yourself. You just have to be able to see beyond what looks like a
you
mess.
had to see beyond the mess and see the
Exactly.
vision of where you wanted it and what you wanted to do with it.
The only way you can do that, though, is to have a vision.
Yeah.
Do you get my point? So that's absolutely brilliant, bro. But yeah, continue.
Don't get me wrong, it took some mega hard work.
As
and
it does.
the solicitors took forever to get us keys and whatever.
Really? Right.
We started renovations, and at the time,
Yeah.
what are I doing now? From about 7 in the morning, it were mainly all family working there. So me, my stepdad, a few of my friends would come down and help, either if they were out of work or say they had a couple of days off, or when they finished work, if they worked in trades, they'd come down, they'd like help us for free. My mum's uncle were helping and one of his friends. So a lot of it were done through family.
Oh, in terms of the renovation work and things like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah,
Oh,
so we managed to sort of cut out a lot of costs there, but we couldn't have done it without him, honestly.
Okay,
They're
I can only
massive help
imagine.
to a lot of friends and family with that.
Yes.
But from about 7 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon, I'd be there. I'd have stayed all day, but then I still had to cut hair and make a living. I wasn't making money ripping it out.
Yeah.
So from 3 in the afternoon, it was about 5 doors down from women's salon. I'd walk up there, I'd have a backpack full of clothes. I'd wash my hair, wash my face and my hands.
Yeah.
Get changed, start cutting hair, and then
No way, brother.
about 10 minutes after I'd left there, start cutting hair. I'd cut till 7.
Yes.
And then we were a bit short staffed at pub as well. And it was a 7 till close shift. So like 7:11, 7:12.
Yes.
Which didn't have no staff for. So I'd go from 7 o'clock,
Yeah.
walk straight to pub, change again into a pub top,
Guy.
start working again.
Yes.
I was literally 7 in the morning till 11, 12 at night for about 4 months.
Yeah.
I did 7 days a week on rip out, 6 days cutting, 5 nights on closing pub. And honestly, it took it out of me big time.
I can only imagine, but do you know the beauty of doing that, Brad, right? It's temporary.
Yeah.
You have to go through that process of hell and intensity. You're not really seeing a life. You don't know where your days end and where your days start.
Yeah.
But I can reckon you obviously had the knowing to say that you're doing this in order to build, to get to the bridge of the next side. Because I feel like once you get to the next side, that's when things sort of calm down. But somebody was telling me it literally took them like 2 years of living a life similar to what you're saying, where my friend was telling me how he had to commute with his wife and his life was so intense for quite a while, for about 2 years. But now their life has shifted and she's found a new job and they're changing. But I feel like as a person, you have to be willing to make certain sacrifices for you to get to the other side.
Massively.
Do you get my point? Yeah.
I had to sacrifice pretty much all social life.
That's what I'm saying. And people will think you're mad, don't they?
Pardon me.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like people will think you're a bit crazy. Which I think you have to be a little bit nuts.
Oh yeah,
I
like a zombie for near enough 6 months, and then went shop opened it. Wow, manic.
Mate.
So that were it. Then working Monday to Saturday, all hours under the sun. I can remember the first Saturday we opened. The first day we opened, we're busy.
Yes.
There were only 2 of us though.
Okay.
And then we had someone come down and ask for a job. They're like, "Oh, I've just left barbers that I'm working at." I thought, perfect. We had 3 chairs on the main floor. And we're still renovating the cellar at this time.
Okay.
We just had to get it open and get some money coming in.
There you go. Yeah.
And I was like, right, yeah, perfect. Someone to fill this 3rd chair.
Yeah.
It came in the 2nd day that we'd been opened, which were like Tuesday. And that were it then. We're full steam ahead, 3 of us, full all day, walk-ins coming in, complete new thing brought to town.
Mate. Yeah.
Like, it looks 1,000 miles apart from any other barbers in the area.
Wow. Yes.
And like, we got to the Saturday and we were meant to open 8 till 4. And obviously I'd never been somewhere this busy. I'd always done my clients that I booked in, but I never had this buzz before.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a buzz, and I felt
And it only
like
comes
it.
after the work,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yes, I hear you, brother.
And I were absolutely, I were hammering through cuts. It got to about 6 o'clock, and I was like,
Yeah,
we're
what
running-
is going
I'm
on?
like, we're working 2 hour over here. People are still coming through the door, like, yeah, come on, we'll keep doing it. And it got to 8:30. So I worked from 8 in the morning till 8:30 at night.
Mate.
And I was like, I was still buzzing, and another bloke came in for an haircut. Everyone else had sat down their hair all over. They had their head in their hands. They were like, "Oh my god, what's
What's
happened
going
today?" They're like, "I've never seen out like it."
Yeah.
This guy comes in at 8:30.
Yeah.
Biggest grin on my face. I'm like, "Yeah, mate, yeah, jump in." And lads turned around and went,
No,
don't do it.
let it go away.
They were like, "We need to go home. Just shut the shop."
Absolutely.
And
But-
then we locked doors and
Yeah.
haircut, and we finished about 9 o'clock. But oh my
Brother.
god, I've never felt a buzz like that.
Yo,
Then.
that is an amazing story. Do you know, have you ever heard this statement to say, if you build it, they will come?
Yeah.
Right? That's literally the mantra I'm going with. When I started this platform, I had no idea where the guests were going to come from, because I was thinking, man, I want to do it in my garage and I have to convince people to come from where are they going to come? But something just told me, like, do you know what? Build it and they'll come. And I was telling you, for the past couple of weeks, my week has been filled. I've been doing double recordings. I've got people that have come from Derby, Manchester, London. I've got a lady that will be coming from Wales. It's going to be a 4-hour travel coming, 4-hour going back.
I thought mine was back coming 40 minutes and mine 4 hours.
I'm telling you, 4 hours. They have a lady who took 2 hours. The other one, the dancer that came yesterday, she actually traveled all the way from Portugal she had some business to come and do here, but she traveled Portugal to Leeds, picked her up from Leeds, and that's how she came here. But she predominantly resides in away from the country, so Portugal. So I'll just claim her as having come from another country.
No one else is going to claim it either.
Do you get my point, bro? But what I'm trying to say, my point is what you've just said. Like, when you're building initially, sometimes you don't really know where it's going to take you. But there have been a couple of people that have come in this podcast and they've said, bruh, there's something about doing work and working hard that it's like a magic that happens. I had a friend of mine called Kondwani. He described it as almost a ritual that you have to go through in order for you to get to the other side of success. You've described it as a buzz and a feeling that was like, it's almost a knowing, isn't it? After I imagine all the work that you'd put through with the cutting of the hair, backpacking and then doing I bet you when you now saw that buzz of people, that must have been like a reinforcement for yourself.
It makes
all the
it
work.
all worth it.
Do you get my point?
All the hard work.
Yes.
You feel very accomplished.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you deserve it, bro. I was going to say, how old did you say you were again?
22.
22. This man, right? So you're ambitious.
Yeah.
You're tenacious. Just from speaking to you, even from the first time that I spoke to you, where does that come from, bro?
My mum. 100%.
Right?
Mum.
Oh, straight away. Dad, sorry, Dad. This is not my fault.
You know what? I can't put it down to anybody but my mum. She's the most hard-working, ambitious, forward-moving person.
That is brilliant.
Ever. I've never met anyone as hard-working with as much ambition and
as your mother.
Yeah. Yes. Honestly, she's a driving force behind everything that we do.
She's a blessing. She's an angel.
Oh, honestly, I don't know what to do without her.
Right. Yeah. I was going to ask you, did you always know you had it? In fact, before I even ask that question, right? Because normally I start the podcast from foundational, but we've just gone in. Inspiration's taking over. I'm loving it. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing. Perhaps, when you were coming up, in your house, school and that sort of thing, only as it relates to what you're doing now. So did you find that you came from a household where, creativity or talent was encouraged, or tell us a little bit about that?
You know what? It's sort of, it were all through my mum's hard work when I was growing up.
Okay.
So from start, we were just like, she had a very small shop, 2-chair sort of thing. And it was quiet, she was working another 2 jobs at the same time. So she was cleaning in a pub in the morning.
Okay.
Going hairdressing.
Yes.
And then she were having to like go and work in the pub at night.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't always how it is.
Okay.
It was hard. Like, we're in a 1-up, 1-down terraced house.
No way.
It were.
So it was a struggle coming up, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then from being small, I saw the hard work my mum were putting in.
Okay.
Absolutely grinding to make what we've got and to make the family what it is.
Yeah.
And then she ended up taking the shop next door, knocking through, expanding, moving into she got another shop in Dewsbury Town Centre. and then she got one in Wakefield, near Pinderfields.
Okay.
And then getting the third shop to expand, which she's done recently, getting the shop in Pontefract, and then she just took on another shop in Pontefract.
No way.
So it's literally, I've seen my mum go from the small little egg box that were struggling to make ends meet,
Yes.
to, let's face it, working her ass off and just grinding and grinding and grinding
Yes.
and making it work. And now
Brother.
she's gone from that to...
Brother, looking at that shop that you've got there, looking at how you do things, I would have never thought that this was your story, bro.
Yeah.
I thought you came from a privileged family,
Not at all.
young
Not at
white
all.
kid
Not
in
at
his
all,
big
man.
4x4 with a shop. I could have never known that you've had to fight and grind and earn where you are, right? And this is another conversation that I had with Ella, the dancer. I said, you know, it's important to keep an open mind and to keep an inquisitive one when it comes to people, because it's so easy for you to judge, to think you know someone when they haven't told you their story.
Yeah.
Because you're only looking at the good things, right?
That's what we find a lot now.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you go into a new area, like when we first went into Ponty, people just see you for what
You've got.
for what you've got, or for what they know about you, which, let's face it, it's nothing.
No.
They see the car you drive, clothes you wear, they see your business, they see the exterior things. They don't see the come up to that.
Nope.
Like
And they're not interested in the background story.
No, like
They just want the good
everyone's had to
things.
come up at some point, whether it's them, the parents, the grandparents.
Yes.
Everyone started from somewhere to get where they are.
Absolutely.
It's just that, like, I've lived through it all, but it's not through my hard work, it's through my mum's. 100%.
Yes,
Hands down, all of it is through my mum's hard work.
Yes. I love the accountability there, but you do have to take a little bit of credit for yourself as well, brother.
Definitely.
Do you get what I mean?
I take credit for the grind in the shop, and, you know, the getting the barbers from been just me and one lad to at the minute I've got 15 staff working for me.
15.
Yes.
22 years old. Bro, listen, God sent you here to encourage me today, you know? Because I'm going to build this into a staff. And, you know, again, I was saying to Ella yesterday, like, it terrifies me a little bit because I've never really had people on payroll. So I'm like, you know, when you're responsible for people but there's so much that has to be done. I need people to do it.
It's scary.
So they need to be paid, right? So I'm like, people, you're responsible for them and that sort of thing. So, but you're doing it, and you're doing it at 22 years. Sorry, I keep saying 22 years old because I'm like, what was I doing at 22 years old? I would remember. I was still trying to figure it out, which is absolutely brilliant. But then it's like what you've said, your mom has been an integral part
massive
of everything that you're doing, which again, I'm a parent myself. I've got 2 children, you know, I've got a young daughter, I've got a young son. And again, this is something that came up in conversation to say, I want to build something for them that they can build on to help them be better. So even if my life or my situation is a struggle, that's fine, but the cycle can't continue. And I feel like your mom is the perfect example of, if you set the right foundation for your children, even if you haven't particularly lived the best life, they can really make something of themselves.
That sounds exactly like the words she'd say. She's built and put the foundation there for us to build from.
There you go.
Yeah. It's not like we've taken on like a so-called empire. It's we've taken on the foundation to build his own empire. There
you go.
And you build from there.
Absolutely. And I would say, I think the reason why it works is that you recognize it. You seem like a grounded young man who can see, because sometimes people miss the point. If you're not able to see what somebody has done for you, you will miss the plot.
Yeah.
Right. Some people will be complaining about the way we grew up, or mom never gave me this and mom didn't give me that, forgetting the other bits. But if you're able to recognize it, only then can you actually, build on top of it, which is another credit to mum to say, I just feel like it's not just the values of being a go-getter and an entrepreneur, just I think just the core values of being a person. I think she's done a brilliant job. And this is from me just speaking to you like a couple of minutes. I can already tell, you know?
Yeah. 100%.
So absolutely brilliant, bro.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, taking it back then, the concept of your shop is pretty unique.
Yeah.
From when I was perusing through the website, it gives me like undertones of like 1920s, barbershop, old school, but it's very sort of trendy, rustic. I absolutely love it because, talk us through the concept.
You know what? We're trying to hit a complete different market.
Okay.
So we want generally opening a barbershop. Okay. We didn't want to be seen as a barber's,
right.
a A barb's is somewhere you go, you get a quick haircut, you're in, you're out.
Yes.
You can get a good one, you can get a bad one, whatever.
Yes.
We wanted, the original idea of a luxury male grooming salon.
Wow.
So we started off where we did laser tattoo removal, obviously standard haircuts.
Okay.
We were the first barbershop in the Wakefield district to get a licensed bar. So we could give.
So you're a licensed bar.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure to ask you about that one, right? Because I was like, because we hadn't discussed it. I was like, should I ask him about that just in case it's underground? No, you're doing everything legit.
Yeah.
Fam.
Yeah. So
okay,
we can give it away free.
Yes.
Or we can charge for beer.
Okay.
So we've done quite a few charity events raising money for Rob Borough. We did a charity event. We raised about 2,000-3,000 for him.
Okay,
And
brilliant.
then we did one for Andy's Man Club for men's mental health. We
Okay,
raised about £1,800 for them. Right. On a Saturday night, selling tickets. We had DJs in till like 10 at night. I had cocktail makers on, mixologists.
Nice.
Honestly, it was like the swankiest little
Right.
party ever.
Brother, next time invite me, please.
Oh yeah, definitely. We'll have another one coming up in next few months, so I'm sure we'll get one at some point.
No, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, we were doing all forms of waxing. So we have beauticians upstairs doing intimate waxing, facial waxing, full body massages, threading, hair colouring, like eyebrow tinting, stuff like that.
Nice.
So it were basically anything that a woman can get done in a women's salon, but for men.
Men.
Yeah. Wow. I'm talking, we're going to the level of doing manicures and pedicures, but not not like painting nails, as in like a nail tidy.
Just getting them right, getting them looking good.
And you know what? There's male grooming. I think it were for about 3 or 4 years. It was the fastest growing industry in the UK.
Absolutely. Do you know what? Sorry, go on. Let me not disturb
I would say it was the fastest growing industry in the UK for about 3 to 4 years.
Yes.
Up until COVID.
Yeah.
And I thought this male grooming now, it's not a frowned upon thing. It's an encouraged thing. Before it was like, no, you get an haircut and that's it. 'Cause that's what
you doing? Yeah. If you've gotten your nails done, why? Why have you done that? Yeah.
Now it's people see it as an essential thing, getting the full groom.
Yes.
Not just getting a quick 2 back and sides and dash out at a chair, because that's what men do.
Yeah.
It's a trendy thing now.
Absolutely. I was saying, do you know what's encouraged it, actually? The rise of social media.
Massively.
The rise of Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and even shows. I'll bet you, like, Geordie Shore and all these other Love Island
and stuff like that.
Right? The people that are on there are well sorted, well groomed.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, how did you know that is a market that would work? Because as you've said, normally what I remember about Ibaba, no chance will you get that. You'd think that would actually deter people.
Yeah.
But then how did you guys know?
It was literally because it were when within the first year of barbering becoming a cool job and male grooming going through the roof, I saw it in the hairdressers where we're getting a lot of young lads or my customers coming in and going, oh, can I do this? Can I tidy my eyebrows up? Oh, my skin's a bit rough. Can they get me in for a facial?
Yes.
Or I'm off on holiday, can I get this wax? Can I do this? And I was like, there's more of a market here than what we're seeing, because I'm talking I was doing maybe 20 cuts a week at that point.
Yes.
And my customers were getting it done. And then when you look at the general demographic area, the young lads that like to look sharp, look good on the weekend, and, they want to look after themselves.
Absolutely.
I thought there could be a pretty big market for this here. So we did a bit of research. And
was it yourself that was thinking this? And
yeah, it was between me and my mum. It was like
brilliant. Okay,
It was, I was thinking it, and she was like, right, we need to do something about it. Then I was one of them where I was thinking, this would be a good idea. And she was like, right, let's make it happen.
Yes.
I'm talking to the point where we were like, right, we get everything in one place.
Wow.
Obviously, I talked about skincare, the waxing, the hair removal, tattoo removal. We got 3 sunbeds put in. Wow. So you could go, get a tan, get your eyebrows done, your hair, your beard, your facial, everything in one place.
Yes.
You could get like the full like men's spa experience.
There you go. And it was literally an inspired idea, isn't it? Like people coming to ask for stuff that wasn't there. It's like, do you know what? There's a market here. And do you know why it's so brilliant, bro? Because if you just cut hair, you do the hair cutting and they pay you for that, that's it. But this is like extras now.
You know what? It's upselling.
Thrills.
Which that's
upselling.
It's the core of a business. Like
more money.
Our hair cutting is as foundation.
That's what I'm saying.
It's always going to be his biggest earner.
Yes.
Because we're good at what we do.
Absolutely.
We are good at cutting hair, and we cut hair a lot.
Yes.
But you're set at like what you can earn, what you can make, what your turnover is. Where you build your money up is in your other things. You're selling your sunbeds, your eyebrows and whatever. Just because of the price of the services compared to the time. The haircuts, we take 45 minutes to an hour doing an haircut. It's the same price no matter what. Doing someone's eyebrows, ears, nose, whatever, it's 5 minutes.
What?
You know, like...
And what do you charge, like, not too far off from a haircut?
I can quite easily triple the price of an haircut with other services within the same time. Like if I did a facial, ears, eyebrows and nose, you'd be talking like £40 and you could do it in 40 minutes.
Yes.
For a haircut, which you can take me 45, I'd be getting 20. You know, so...
Brother, that is just absolutely brilliant. And it just sounds like an inspired business where certain things are starting to fall into place that you weren't even thinking about. It's giving me encouragement because I'm wondering, like, what else is going to come of this? Because I know for a fact that there'll be other things that will come along. For as long as I continue to work and I put out quality work and I continue to do what I do, you know, with research.
As long as you put quality up, as long as you keep your standard up, work's going to keep coming and it will work.
Yes.
Some people, it works faster. Some people, it takes time. It's just all about getting yourself out there, keeping your standard out. And as long as your standard's right, it'll always work.
Absolutely. I was saying, whilst I was perusing on your website, there was a statement that I was going to ask you about, which I feel like you have touched into, right? Which goes, we have dedicated our time to form a new luxury barbers, a male grooming salon, which combines the delicate art and skill of barbering whilst trying to remove the toxic masculine stereotypes, moving traditional gents barbering right into the new century. That statement, brother, it just pops out, and there's so many obviously undertones in there, right? Which I feel you have articulated. Perhaps you want to touch a little bit more, if you're able to touch a little bit more about that. Where did that come from, feeling that you had to remove, you know, toxic masculinity stereotypes and things like that?
It were looking around the local town. A lot of the barbers were all like pit barbers. You know, you go in, you pay £5-6, you get an haircut, a one back and sides,
and that's it.
You're straight in and out, bit of gel slapped on top, and that's it.
No service, no customer service,
nothing. You know,
no beer.
Well, it's one of them places where you'd expect a barber to be stood there with a cig in his mouth, quickly knocking haircuts out.
Was chatting to somebody,
or stood on phone or whatever. But barbering in general, not just male grooming, as in male haircuts. They've diversified and gone so much further than what they used to be. With growth in the market, there's been a massive uproar and people wanting quality.
Brilliant.
If you notice, a lot of the lower end barbers now are starting to fade out, and a lot of high end competition are coming in.
Absolutely.
And even when the service in there and they don't offer the services we do, it's the way that you cut hair.
Absolutely.
Haircuts used to be a 10-minute job, like I just said to you, 45 minutes to an hour, because of the precision cutting that's put in now.
Right. Even, in fact, you've just led into a question that I want to ask you. I'll say, for starters, is the aesthetics. Right. How we set up is so important, because people now are really bothered about aesthetics. There are a couple of them that I've seen even in city centre, like the way it is so beautiful. I'm like, I just love being in this place. Forget a haircut, I can just come there to chill, right?
A lot of people want the aesthetic. It makes you feel good being like, if I'm sat in 30 barbers with some old bloke talking,
the vibes are wrong.
I'm crushed onto a couch like that with 5 blokes next to me.
Forget all that.
And you've got a stink of sweat and and there's a little radio in the corner. It don't make you feel good. And the predominant thing, social media. Everybody now lives to get a photo on Instagram, to get a Snapchat, to Facebook it, whatever. And you need to make the most Instagrammable business possible. That's how you get out there. People putting you on social media. Before it were physical advertising. Now it's social advertising and social advertising.
Word of mouth. You're absolutely right in that one. I mean, there's one time I was in the city centre. There's one barber's that I went to. I forgot what it's called. I saw it, and it looked so good. I considered filming my podcast before I decided to do it in the city. I was like, man, this is so good.
Yeah.
Could potentially even film in there. Similar to your one, when I've been there, I know you've got the lovely like leather chairs, which are not too far off from from my chair, right? And then just the way it's set up, the way you guys have set yourselves up on Instagram, and the way you can even tell like the way people dress up, like they look after themselves. So when you look at your barber and it looks that way, I think it even gives you the confidence that they're going to do the job that they need to do, doesn't it? Yeah.
I think that's one thing that really sets us apart as well is I've been around a lot of barbers and they can do a terrific haircut. It can be a good atmosphere.
Yes.
But I feel like one thing that can set you apart is a uniform.
Absolutely.
Like I've been to some amazing barbers that have done me a terrific haircut. Like round Leeds, Manchester. And the one thing is that you look across the staff as a whole, you'll have generally based on either where they're from or their age. You'll have some that are dressed smart in jeans and a top or a shirt. You'll always have the one young kid that's in a full tracksuit. You'll have one that looks like they've just rolled out of bed. One that's dressed up to nines.
It's a shambles.
Yeah. Whereas we've set it where you wear trousers, you wear a shirt as a minimum.
Wow.
So that is the minimum you've got to do. We've got lads that come in, like you've seen Liam that works in Dewsbury.
I've seen him, yeah.
Full suit. Likes to call himself a peaky barber.
Yes, I've even seen his Instagram. I was like, he got me intrigued. And that's the thing, that gets you intrigued beyond just him cutting hair. I was like, what else does this guy do, right?
He comes in six days a week. Yes. I'm not joking. Whether he turns up an hour early or if he's slept in on a morning, he doesn't, obviously he cares, but he doesn't care. He will turn up pristine.
There you go. Every day. I've seen it.
Three-piece suit.
Brilliant.
Crisp iron shirt. And a flat cap. Every single day without fail.
Wow.
Don't matter if it's -4 or if it's 40 degrees outside.
Wow, that is brilliant,
He'll turn
bro.
up exactly the same.
Listen, I think you guys take a sense of pride in what you do, and you can see it from a mile away.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? And this is why I was really interested, and I thought, you know what, I really want to have you on in order to hear a little bit more about your story. So what you're saying, uniformity, again, I bring it back to what I do, the podcast. That's something that I'm thinking to say, even as I go along, I want to refine the brand. I want there to be a sense of uniformity, consistency across everything that I do, because you know what that says? It says professional.
Yeah.
People can actually see that. So if they're coming to do business with you, that is so important.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel like it's actually drawn a lot more footfall and a lot of customers to the shop when they see uniform.
Yes.
Like it sounds like such a strange thing why it'd draw more people in, but for some reason, having everybody with a similar look or the same look, and just everyone looking smart, it attracts higher end clientele. It attracts a lot more people, and it's just a lot more professional.
Absolutely. As I say, do you know what that does? I think it gives somebody a sense of confidence that you will be able to do what you need to do, and also that you take pride in what you do. Speaking of which, as I was thinking of the questions to ask you today, I wrote a statement, right? I was thinking about, being a barber. Could I be a barber? Right. I was like, being a barber is one of those jobs you have to get it right every time, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, which other job do you have to get it right every time? Pilot. Right? A pilot has to get it right every single time, right? Like there is no second guessing. He has to get it right every single time. And that's the only thing that I could compare it. I was thinking, as a barber, you're doing that. You sort of, maybe it's not as, as intense as a pilot, but you still have to get it right every single time. And my barber particularly gets it right.
So it depends who you're going to chair, depending on how intense it is.
I know, right?
Some people are quite easy going, but you've got somewhere, you need to get it perfect.
Right. For the majority of the time you do. So I was thinking, I wanted you to talk us through the process, the creative process, your mindset, because I feel like you really have to be somebody who's focused. You need to be somebody who's level-headed and minded to be able to do that, minute after minute, hour after hour, and actually get those haircuts, people happy all the time. So talk us through that a little bit.
You know what? It's the job's not for everyone. Not everyone's going to be able to do it.
Okay.
I think half of it is natural and half of it is taught. But you've just got to be really particular and stick at it, because it's one of them where you're not going to get it right for a while. And when you start to get it right, that's when you build your customers, you start to build your pricings up and you build your client base. But it's getting it right for the customer as well.
Absolutely.
But for me, I feel like the haircut only a quarter of it is a haircut you do.
There you go.
Another quarter is the atmosphere in the shop.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest part of the haircut is how you are with the customer.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yes.
My busiest barber that I've got working for me
Mm-hmm.
isn't my most technically good barber, you know.
But he's just really good at communicating.
He don't do
Right.
the most technically best haircuts out of all my staff,
Mm-hmm.
but he is by far the most chat. He can chat to a child that's 4-year-old.
Yes.
He can chat to a middle-aged man, a teenager, or he can chat to someone that's in the 70s.
That's a skill.
And he can have absolutely anybody in that chair, wherever they're the most
Yeah.
like awkward customer, the most free going, or
Wow.
a really quiet person.
That
He gets
is
them out of the
brilliant.
shell talking
Yes.
every single time without fail.
Yes.
That's the most important thing with a haircut.
Do you know what happens? If a person is like that, I can guarantee you he'll get a tip at least 95% of the time.
Oh, a lot, yeah.
At
A
least
lot.
95% of the
lot.
time. Because I feel like my current barber, he's like that, right? And he's like, we just have a certain communication. It's not even like a money transaction thing, right?
Yeah.
I can go there and like, bruh, sort me out. I'll come through. And he'll be like, yeah, don't worry. Man, chill out. He also does, like, I'll get a beer. There's one time I went to see him and it's like, man, grab the beer. Don't worry about it. I'm like, what? So when I left that barber, I was like, fam, you've spoken to my... After that, I haven't skipped giving him a tip. I haven't skipped every time I go through, and it's because of the person he is. So technically, I don't know if I've even checked to be like, oh, is he the best at what he does? It's just from the fact, the person that he is. I'm like, fam, yes, you're my barber because you get me.
I know, before I was cutting hair, I used to... Like, my mum cut my hair most of the time, but I floated between a few barbers.
Yeah.
And I had one that cut my hair unbelievably, but it was so awkward and uncomfortable while I was sat in the chair
That's
and
long,
in
bro.
the shop,
Yes.
where there'd be one song stuck on repeat for like, it was sit down and wait, no appointment. Be sat there for like 4 hours waiting, and he wouldn't speak to you all the way through, and if he did, he'd be on his phone. Haircut, unbelievable every time. But the service just wasn't there that much that I went to another barber's, which the haircut was still very good, but it
not
wasn't
as good. Yeah.
But I was still happier paying
vibe.
and tipping
Yes.
than I was just to pay the standard price at the old place.
Absolutely.
And I'm talking the second place, like,
Yeah.
it were even on double price. You'd pay that and tipping because you've enjoyed your experience that much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's buying into the person. I always say this. That's partly why I do this podcast, because as much as technically you guys, as much as technically anyone is good at what they do, you might have all these services. Sometimes people don't know of it. They will see, and sometimes people, as I said, they have preconceived notions until they get to hear, about you. Like you've told us today a little bit about your story and things like that. So what happens is people buy into you as a person, and then what you do comes like as an extra bonus. So you're supporting the city, you're supporting community, you're passionate about what you do, and you've come from the from the lower ends and you've built yourself up. So you will have people that will come to you without even thinking twice about it because of your story.
It's building relationships and building friends as well, massively.
Absolutely.
I could confidently say 95% of my friends are friends through customers.
Wow. That's great, bro.
And the one thing which is really, if anything, annoying in like just running a business in general is a client will become a friend much faster than any friend will become a client.
Wow.
Like,
yes, brother, say that again. Oh, I almost missed it.
Yeah.
A client will become a friend and a friend will become a client.
Yeah.
Don't I know it?
Yeah.
You see, that's a quotable, that one.
Yeah.
That's going to make it in the trailers because I have experienced that 100%.
Yeah.
When I was starting out and I was struggling with guests, I'm just trying to like proof the concept, because oftentimes people want to see something that's out there and is working because they're not sure, right? So you need people to be able to come so that you can prove like, oh, this is what I'm doing. And what do? You reach out to friends, don't you? Because it seems like the easiest draw.
You seem like they'd want to support you the most.
Right.
Yeah.
But then it just didn't work out how I thought it would.
No,
People are telling me straight no.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. There have been some friends that have come through and they've supported me, but then there's some that's just like, nah, bro, one thing or the other. And I've been like, fam, really? And then people like yourself and other people that I've started out with, I don't know them from Adam.
No. I think I only had,
Yeah.
I think now maybe 4 or 5 people
That you know.
to start with that were my friends from, say, school or college.
Yes.
That were letting me practice on them to do haircuts. And then after that, when I started getting better, I attracted just random people in at the time, which have now become
your whole base.
Yeah, they're my whole base. And there's some of my friends, some of my best mates that now I'm going on holidays with. I'm going on nights out. You know,
that's
but
beautiful.
it's a relationship that's built over the last like 5 years.
Yes.
I had one where one of my first clients, I become really good mates with him. I used to go out regular away with him and his girlfriend.
Yes.
And then he's come to work for me. So
really?
He's ended up working for
great,
us.
Bro. Wow.
Yeah, but it's and then after I'd built up other people that I used to know, or people that are my mates, you know, from college, from school, then they started coming.
Yes.
But I was like,
after they've seen that it's working, it's when it will come through. And that's what I've said. Like, oftentimes people won't really believe in the vision because sometimes people might not understand what you're trying to do. It's only when, let's say, you show consistency or they see that the thing is lit, that's when they'll be like, bro, I always knew you'd be able to do it, bro.
You know what? That is exactly what they say. They're always like, oh, I knew you'd do this.
I knew you'd do that. You always had it. No, you didn't know, man. Don't say that, right?
But they're never there for the come up. They're just right there when you're up.
When it's now done, right? And the vision, I think that's why I think somebody said this. I don't know if it's Will Smith or Oprah Winfrey. They say it's a lonely journey and don't expect support. Just go in it. If you're confident there's something that you're trying to do and you're expecting that somebody's going to push you up, I think it was Oprah actually that said it. Say don't. She said go for it and do it and keep doing it and just go for it. Don't expect that somebody's coming to save you. Do you get what I mean? Sometimes you might be lucky enough where you got a support system like your mom and things like that. But I can guarantee you, even her, there's only so much that she could have done. The majority of it had to come from you as a person, because I've known people that have got those sorts of support systems and they still haven't been able to do anything with it. Do you get what I mean? So the majority of it, the core, I think, is like the resilience and the fight has to come from you. You just have to have that tenacity to say that regardless of what anybody says or how they make you feel, you're just going to carry on and do what you need to do. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Like it's your support system builds your foundation, but you've still got to put legwork in.
Absolutely.
Like even if that system's there, you've still got hard work. Like it's never going to be easy.
Yes.
If it was, everyone would do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes you don't really even know where the vision is going to mature until you're in it. Because oftentimes people are trying to figure out how things are going to work before they've even put in one day of work. I'm like, it doesn't work that way, right? Go in, put in the work, and then certain things start to fall into place whilst you're in it. So the thing that you say, the extras, and where you were discovering we could do this and we could do more, or where you were discovering like a lot of people are now coming and you have to expand the business. There's no way you could have seen that before you started, could you?
No.
Right? It came after the birth of what you were doing.
Yeah.
Do you get my point?
I'd say that it all came after I started cutting hair.
There you go.
I'd have never thought of all that in one go.
Right.
You know, it's you start cutting hair and then you get a couple of little ideas and you're like, oh, could do this, could do that. And then it all merges together.
Brilliant.
And it just turns into something amazing.
Absolutely, brother. Now then, with anything, we've talked about all the amazing stuff. With anything, I know there are challenges sometimes, right? One of the things we spoke about even before was the pandemic. The pandemic came along. It hit all of us, right? In different ways. People that have had visions, they've had to shift their visions. My business I was doing before is the trailer that you saw outside. I was doing a food business, plant-based food business. I was looking to build this as a brand, but then when the pandemic came, it just kind of threw me off, and all the energy that I had about it just kind of went away a little bit. But then this was born, the podcast came along, and it's something that I'm now passionate about. I wanted to hear from yourself how you've managed to work through that, for starters, because you're still going and you're still growing strong. But how did you manage to work through that? And also, how has that either affected or altered your vision, or has it even done that? Yeah.
Well, it were hard for everyone to get through. It was an absolute nightmare when we got that announcement at like 8 o'clock at night or something.
Yes.
We're all sat at home, that's it. We went straight into group chat, started ringing each other, what we're going to do, right, we'll meet at shop, clear it out.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, right, no work. And
Yes.
like it was so weird. Like, you had to take advantage of it while you were at home, because that you will never in your life will you ever get that time off again, ever, until you retire.
Right.
So in that sense,
Yeah.
it was brilliant. I was sat on PlayStation every day with my mates, you know.
Oh,
what I mean?
yeah.
But-
Giving you time to rest. But yeah.
then when the reality of it all kicked in,
Yes.
it was scary. It was a nightmare.
Because, yeah.
Fortunately, we've got as accounts manager Sarah that deals
Okay.
with a lot of his paperwork and
Oh, brilliant. Yeah.
you know, trying to find what schemes you can get on the furlough, stuff like that. But government didn't pay out furlough for a while. Like they were telling everyone they were paying wages. It took a while for them to come in.
Yeah.
We almost fully emptied every single one of the shop accounts paying wages before the furlough payments came back.
Damn, I can imagine.
So we were like 2 weeks off not being able to pay wages.
Wow.
And then everything came back and they came out with these like the bounce back loans and stuff like that.
Yes.
And the grants and whatnot,
Yeah.
which the information were sparse on them, to say at least. Like they were giving grants out willy-nilly and saying, "Oh, you can have this."
And that,
this year."
yeah. So a lot of people taking money. I'm like, have you
Yeah.
even got a business to be doing that, bro?
The
What's going on?
stuffed business owners and self-employed a lot because it's the furlough for employed staff.
Yeah.
You got your wage and that were it. You're fine. No what else happened. You were self-employed. You didn't get furlough. You got a grant, a bounce back loan, which now they're telling you need to pay back.
Wow.
But employed staff that got furlough aren't having to pay back.
Yeah.
Just businesses.
Business.
The
still dealing with
Yeah.
it.
So we're still having to pay them back. We managed to get a few grants in, and we're like, realistically, it was money we were going to earn in that time anyway. So that's how we managed to open the Dewsbury store. And we opened it on some grants and money that we already had saved up. We merged it all together and opened that.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
But it one of them where it was a plan anyway,
Okay.
but it had just taken another 6 months.
Okay.
So realistically, it pushed us on and helped us, if anything.
Oh, right. That's brilliant.
Because then
bro.
we had 3 weeks out of work, and all my pals were out of work.
Yeah.
They all had work now. They had something to do.
Nice.
You know, it kept my stepdad busy, kept my uncle busy. Pardon me. Me and my friends that were like not working, they were like, right, I'm bored out of my mind. What should I do? I've got some rip outs to do if you want to help. They were like, yes, I'll
Sure.
pick us up 8 in the morning. We'll stay till 5.
Yeah.
They didn't want no money for it. Kept them busy. Take them for a bit. Well, take them to Tesco and get a crate of beers after, so they could take them home.
Yeah.
Go get a takeaway. Not it. You know,
Nice.
I buy them all something to eat. Buy them a crate of beers while they're working, and they were happy just to see each other and get out of the house.
There you go. Yeah.
That
Because
rate.
everyone just needed something to do
Yeah.
in that time, and it was challenging time.
That right, when
Yeah.
some of them had been out of work, I know one of the lads who were out of work in first lockdown, they kept him on furlough in the bridge gap between the first and the second and the circuit breaker, and then he went back to work after not after the circuit breaker in November, after the second big lockdown.
No way.
It's he were on furlough all through that,
Yeah.
and he were like, mate, it's got me out of the house for a month. Like he were absolutely tearing his hair out.
Yeah, bro, because that can drive you a bit mad, especially if you're not doing something. Like I was doing the whole podcasting thing. I was finding ways to keep busy. I used to go jogging. But imagine if you're not thinking that way, because you're just stuck with your thoughts, bro.
Yeah.
And then that can drive you a little bit crazy. So I imagine that was a brilliant thing.
Yeah, like I say, he was employed as well. He wasn't like self-employed or out, so he had no drive to do anything. He was like, I'm still getting paid the same. What do I do? So like, right,
Yeah.
sit at home and go for a walk once a day, but it's only so many times you can go on that same walk every day before you get sick of it.
Bro, because it was like, how long were we stuck for?
3 months. 3 months the first time.
Yeah.
And then we came back.
Longer.
In fact, I'll tell you how we opened.
I was going to ask you that actually. Yeah, go on.
I said earlier that it was the second lockdown.
Yes.
I lied, it was the first because we opened up and we opened on a Wednesday. We opened Wednesday night. We had Thursday, Friday, Saturday in the Dewsbury store, and then we had 1 full week. No. We had 1 full week, and then the circuit breaker lockdown came on a Wednesday, didn't it? So we had Monday to Saturday, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we shut.
Wow.
So we were open a week and a half, and then we had to shut for the circuit breaker for a month.
Mate.
Obviously, that through November, wasn't it? Circuit
It was,
breaker?
yeah.
Yeah, and then we opened up for about 10 weeks and then shut for another 3 months. So yeah, we had a week and a half of open,
Yeah.
a month shut,
Yeah.
a couple of months open, another 3 months shut.
Yeah.
Honestly, it were draining.
I know, right? I felt it. I still feel it now. I was like, how has that altered your mindset towards business? You know, having come out of that, like how has it changed how you think?
You know
about
what?
Business?
In some ways, like with Pontefract, it hindered us a bit.
Okay.
Because a lot of customers, a lot of people shave their head and they've kept it shaved, or they've grown their hair and left it grown.
Yes, that's how my hair grew to this length.
Yeah, so we lost a lot of people. Lost a lot of customers.
Oh,
a lot of people lost their jobs, so they didn't come back.
Yeah.
A lot of people were getting mobile barbers that weren't meant to be cutting hair, but they're not cutting hair, and they just stuck with them from then. So I saw that we had a lot of new faces come in, but we lost a lot of old faces, like a lot. But with Dewsbury, it sort of helped us.
Okay.
Because we weren't new kid on block, no one else were new. Everyone had the customers set in.
Yeah.
People didn't really want to try us out. We had Liam from around there who were already cutting, and I were cutting minimal people around here because I've not lived here for a few years.
Okay.
And I was like, right, this is our perfect opportunity.
Yes.
They announced that we were going into lockdown on Wednesday, on the Wednesday night. So we're like, right, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all of a sudden, we're absolutely rammed at both shops. And I'm like, we're rammed with people that have never been in here before.
So they just,
And then we come out of the lockdown.
Yes.
We get them same people come back, and then there's mass queues at every barbershop.
Wow.
So people come to us then, new faces again. We're like, oh, these new faces, come on, we'll cut these. We'll do a good job. We'll get them coming back. They come back. We build up slowly then because the area, it's on a main road, it's not a town centre. It was slow building. We got back into lockdown again. We'll come back out. We lose a few, but then we gain a lot more new faces.
There you go.
Because people are waiting 2 weeks for an haircut after they come out of lockdown. They don't want to do that. They just waited 3 months.
Yeah.
They'd rather go get it cut anywhere.
Absolutely.
So that were it from there. We were just flat out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant, bro. I mean, Brad, you've come. Again, you've smashed it in terms of just giving your story, giving a new point of view. I'll be honest, obviously, as you were coming, I was like, where's this going to go? What's the story going to be? And then as you've just told everything about you, completely obliterated it, right? Yeah. I had absolutely no idea that that's your journey, that's your story. And today, it's actually left me feeling inspired, bro.
Yeah.
Right? You've encouraged me today, and it's like you've reminded me why I do this platform and I do this podcast, why I keep an open mind, and I'm always inquisitive and curious about people's stories, because I think this is definitely going to go towards encouraging someone. It will go towards giving them just a better point of view of how to approach business, or if they want to go into barbering. I think it's more than just being a hairdresser, as you've said, more than just being a barber. A young man at 22 doing this, that's even more inspirational and that sort of thing. So thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure.
Yeah, gracing us with your time. Was there anything that you want to add before we just wrap it up? Because I know things to be done.
Yeah, well, we've got the college on the way soon.
Yes.
Coming this year. We've got the new women's salon opening in Pontefract.
Brilliant.
So that should be open within next couple of months.
Okay.
And then within next year or so, we're looking to get an academy going.
Nice.
So if anyone's looking out for, if they're getting into barbering and they want some extra training, we're going to be offering training.
Okay.
Whether it's haircuts, shaves,
yeah,
service providing, stuff like that. And then hopefully within next probably 3 years, we'll have a full accredited college and we'll have that funded through government, so we can get students from everywhere.
Wow.
And then that's the main thing, getting young kids from high school, getting them into doing some creative, a job that they love, a job they can keep, and it's a career for life.
Absolutely. Yeah. And as I was saying, I'm in the process of getting our website made. So what I'll do, obviously I'll discuss with yourself, in terms of keeping in touch with everything that you've got going, obviously, because you have your own profile of this conversation that we've had, everything that you're doing, so that people can just come and they can go straight to everything that you have coming up. I know there might even come a point where we'll have another conversation later on, bruh. I would love to have you back.
Yeah, definitely.
We did speak about you might even diversify, isn't it, into merch and other products as well, right?
Getting his own product lines. So there could be another chat about that when
that's what I'm saying. Yes,
we're looking at his own hair powders, pre-styling,
brilliant,
curling creams, waxes, powders, and then probably his own brushes, combs, cutthroats. We're building a brand, not building
exactly.
We're not
a barbershop.
Yeah, we're not building a barbershop. We're building a headhunters brand.
There you go.
We've started. We've got the 2 barbers, 2 hairdressers. We're going into academy, college.
Yes.
It's going to be a big brand.
Yes,
not just...
that is brilliant. It's interesting that you said you're building a brand, because that's exactly what I'm doing, brother.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm saying the next time you come back, you might even find that it might be more cameras, it might be more setup, because I just have a vision for what I'm going to do with this, to be able to tell stories even in a more powerful way. And as I said, even as the barber school opens up, if you want to come and have a chat about that, again, come through. We'll just sit down the way we've done today and just have a chat, bro. This is what it is. It's all just chill and calm and that sort of thing. Another thing, where can people find you at the moment in terms of your socials?
So we've got the Gentleman's Quarter on Instagram. Our Facebook is Headhunters, a Gentleman's Quarter.
Yeah.
Or if you download that Booksy booking app, find us on there.
I saw that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, both stores are on there. Pontefract, Dewsbury, anywhere close, and hopefully we'll have another store coming soon.
Absolutely. Whoa, another store. Ooh, that's a review. Guys, as I said, I'll keep you posted. Literally, I'll chat to you about that. Add it on with everything that will be coming up. I will do my best to just keep up to date with it even before you've come back onto the podcast. But guys, another episode of Let Inspiration Take Over. Inspiration came. It took over. Brad has preached to us today. He's inspired us. I'm so grateful, brother, that you were able to make it. Guys, make sure you follow, like, and subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already done so. Again, more stories to come. I've got more work in the pipeline, and like Brad says, where there's work, there's reward. There's more things to come. And yes, join us in the next one, guys. Until the next one, see you later.